Bigger isn't always better, especially when it comes to your air conditioning. So a lot of people say, gosh, it's so hot this summer. I need to call the air conditioning guys and get a bigger AC unit. I'm pretty sure that may not be the best way to figure out how to get your house cooler and cooler more efficiently. So I've asked an expert in cooling to join me, Nathan Shafer. How you doing, Nathan?
Hey, good, Jim. How are you doing today?
I am living the dream. Thank you so much for asking.
Absolutely.
So we've heard this before. I'll just get bigger. If you get a bigger fan to blow on you, that might make a difference to cool you off. We're not talking air conditioning. If you get a bigger engine for the truck, that truck may go faster. But does that work for air conditioning units in people's homes?
No, it doesn't. And oftentimes you're right. You do hear that. If I just had a bigger one, it would be cooler. And in reality, there's typically other issues, other problems. Not to say that maybe in some cases a bigger one's not needed because it wasn't properly sized to begin with. However, bigger is not better when it comes to air conditioning. One of the main functions of an air conditioner is to dehumidify. And if a air conditioner is sized too big for the house, for the space and the amount of people that live in it, it's going to short cycle. So it's going to kick on, kick off, kick on, kick off. When it does that, not only does it raise the electric bill, not only is it hard on the components in the system, it's harder for your car, let's say, to start and stop, right, than it is to set the cruise at 60 and just go. It's harder on your gas mileage. Picture your electric bill like your gas mileage, your fuel mileage of your system. But also with short cycling, it can't run long enough to pull humidity out of the air. And so it may drop the temperature really fast to a certain temperature, but 70 and high humidity still does not feel comfortable. It's
Yep.
still sticky, it's still tacky, and you're not comfortable at all. You're paying a high utility bill. So no, bigger is not always better.
I've heard exactly what you said. The larger the unit, the better it will cool in theory, but it's going to turn off sooner because the thermostat is going to be satisfied. And when it does that, the built in dehumidifier is off, which
Correct.
means the humidity is high. So, in most instances, you want it to cycle on and off at a certain type of rate, and it should be a longer rate. You want it to run just long enough to get the humidity out, and then of course have that temperature drop. And so it needs to be sized right. And if you don't know what that means, you can contact Nathan and his team, and they'll explain what sizing means. And in short, it's just making sure you've got the right type of air conditioning unit or units for the space of the home. They're going to ask you how many people live in the home. There's all kinds of things that
Yeah,
figure.
I think oh, sorry. Yeah, as I said, I think a common thing that gets missed a lot when people think about sizing is just the amount of people or just the square footage of the house, and then that's the magical number, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned, there's so many more things that go into that when properly sized in a system. There has to be a load calculation or a load analysis done on the house, and so everything matters. Like how many windows, which way are they facing, how many doors, what type of windows, what's the R value in the walls, what's the insulation in the attic, what's the floors, is it a crawl space, is it a basement, is it a slab? The list goes on and on and on. What's generating heat in the house, how many people, kitchens, baths. And so all of that has to be taken into consideration. It's not just a square footage. So it's very possible to have a 1,500 square foot house on this side of the road, take a different size system than the exact same footprint, 1,500 square foot house on this side of the road, because of the way it's oriented, the amount of people living in the home, what do they have, which way the window is facing. It was insulated a little bit different. So a lot goes into that sizing, but we can take care of all of that. And we do that on each and every call. So.
I've known people who've had indoor pools. Oh, speaking of humidity, that's an issue. Some people have greenhouses that are attached to their home,
Mhm.
humidity and heat issues. So yes, the windows and anything that might be wet in the home, that's like a pool or a little fountain in front entrance. You'd be surprised what actually could throw off the whole ecosystem in the home. So it is important. And the point of this is you've got to get a hold of Nathan and his team. All his information is located in the description of this podcast. So please go there for any of your questions on heating and air conditioning. As always, Nathan, thanks for joining me today, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.